And a very good afternoon, everybody. I apologize for my technical glitches. It's acting a little bit weird on me, but welcome into this edition, and hopefully it won't disturb us tonight, and we're all fired up here. This is This Week of Flyers Hockey. I'm your host, James Scorza, with you, and joining me once again is my group of companions, Austin Hammel and Joe Marks, on this beautiful Monday. Gentlemen, we made it. Bueno, I'm repping orange tonight for a good reason, and you know what that means. The orange and black are coming in hopefully for a landing, but hopefully you guys are doing well on this very important Monday afternoon, guys.
James, I haven't gotten my Flyered up yet. I got the pregame right after this game, after this show. I'm completely pre-gaming. My daughter is in her Flyers regalia, so we'll got her Flyers regalia ready. So we're getting Flyered up tonight.
Yes, we are. One second, man.
Boys.
And Austin, and I, like I said, you know what the funny fact is too? I told this to my dad earlier about the show. I said, there you go, man. We're repping Big E. I'm repping Chemo.
Should have started sooner, but no time like the present.
Better late than never.
Yep. Yeah, better late than never. That's the thing.
Look, boys,
I remember
it's a beautifully warm Monday in the city of Philadelphia. The birds are chirping. A SEPTA bus split in half. Flyers are one win away from playoffs. It's a good day to be a Philadelphian.
Maybe we should cue that horn one more time, like a playoff atmosphere, shall we? Hey now.
Hey, and speaking of buses, James, can I throw somebody under the bus real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, Joe Giglio, 94 WIP. Way to get back on the Flyers bandwagon and go get the guy that we've had on our show twice already. So welcome to the big time, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I forgot to tell you guys this. I saw Jim Jackson on 2 times in a matter of the last couple hours or so. I said, wait a second. Did we start that shit? I wonder who started that shit back in February before the Olympic break.
I wonder who those 3 guys are.
There's a guy named James Scorza. There's a guy named Austin Hammel, and a guy named Joe. Oh, that's us.
Oh, right.
That's right.
The guys that planted our flag and said we ain't moving the flag because the flag is going to stay exactly where it belongs.
Damn
and
right.
On top of that, the 3 dudes with, in my opinion, some of the sickest facial hair in the biz.
There you go, man. So
my playoff beard's been running for 4 years, dude.
I'm telling you right now, man, I've been growing this beard. I mean, obviously I trimmed it up a little bit, but I've been growing this bad boy going back to when the last time the Flyers were in the playoffs and they were relevant again. So I'm talking like 12 years of agony and defeat. So
boys, I can't grow this out because I got gray coming in. I'm old. Oh. We got the little.
Got the gray hairs in the beard too. As do I, buddy.
I got the 2 strips running straight down on either side of the chin, dude.
Yeah, man.
I call them my racing strips. It makes me be dumb faster.
Yep. Absolutely. So. Speaking of my dad, I remember I talked about this to my dad not long ago, and thanks for checking in. And he says this is a most disappointing game in 5 years. I would say probably maybe 8 years, probably going back to the last time the Flyers took on a team that, I mean, obviously 5 years was a COVID pandemic. I don't even count that much because it was in the middle of August. There was nothing to do. We were like asking the question, like, is this normal? Is this not normal? I mean, it would have been weird if they would have won the Stanley Cup and nobody was there to see it. I would think that's would be the typical Flyers way, Puck that doesn't go our way back in 2010, and we're still looking for that Puck CSI. Call me back if you need me to. But so the thing I remember I told my dad earlier, I have a feeling about this game here tonight. It's kind of like how I felt about the Eagles in 2017 when I had like no feeling and I just like savored it and just like, like nobody's giving us a chance. But the one thing I'll say right now more than anything is just that like this is probably the best opportunity the Flyers have in probably in the last 16 years going back to when they went to the final. I mean, this team is like just playing and phasing all cylinders right now, guys.
And reports from our good friend Jim Jackson
Yeah.
was that the Hurricanes aren't really starting a lot of their guys because they already know they're in the playoffs. So right now they're just kind of resting the stars to kind of get ready. Okay, fine. That's fine. We're going to back our ass on in and we'll see you in the playoffs. Because just remember, this is a team that when they even had their stars, we went toe to toe with them and took them to the brink. And so you take their stars out of the lineup, this could be an ass whooping like Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man.
No Aho, no Gostisbehere, no Svechnikov. It's going to be a very limited roster for them. They, I believe, I think I saw former Flyer Nick Delorier is on the third line for Carolina tonight.
Well, you know there's going to be a fight then.
If there's going to be a fight between him and Hathaway.
Yeah, you know there's going to be a fight. Someone dropping gloves with Delorier.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
And the Flyers called up Jiricek for this game.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, I dig.
More the merrier. More the merrier.
Yep. Yeah. You know what the funny thing is too about when I'm coming into this game here tonight? I'm looking at this game and I look at that Winnipeg game on Saturday. It's like this could be another version of that tonight with all those starters not being in the game. I mean, Carolina's got Stakov, and I mean, even Jarvis is out tonight for resting too. Yeah. So it's not like we're going to see Jarvis or Aho be a pain in the ass though. But
hey, James, I'm going to boast for a little bit. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
We need 2 points to clinch. We've taken Carolina to overtime and have lost some of the times. Okay, so that would be 1 point. Then all we would need to do is get to overtime the next game, right? Sure, we would like to win either game. That's true. Okay? But who on this? I think I said that we would get into the playoffs the last game of the season, like we did in 2010. That kind of come into fruition. But better
16 years ago on Saturday, man.
But better than that. Now, James, you're the NHL encyclopedia.
Yes, I am.
Who did you face in the first round in 2010?
New Jersey. I didn't have to blink. It was the Devils, and it was the Bruins down 3-0. Simone Gagne forcing a game 5, and then winning the game in game 7, man.
And then, so we never played Pitt in that run.
No, never did. Montreal beat them actually. Hard to believe.
That was 2012. Was the Pittsburgh series?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to run it back because they're the ones looking right at us, and I think Crosby and Malkin might be having a good year, but they're about to come against the young guns. This is the role reversal. Back when Gagne and all those guys were old and Malkin and Crosby were, skating circles around them. Now we have the youth and they have the old geezers. We're going to see how this flips.
They won their 2 Stanley Cups back in 16 and 17. That was enough for them. So, but here's the other thing too with the Crosby and with the Penguins thing too that we're always supposed to be the most out of everything. They look really slow. I'm gonna say right now, if the Flyers to me right now, if hindsight being 2020, if this playoff started today, I really like our chances against the Penguins, man. I do, because it's like one of those things that I look at the Penguins and I say to myself, I see them yesterday against Washington, and it's like, dude, they look like old and sluggish. Like they don't even look like.
Their goaltender is not that great.
Right.
The goalie is not that great.
Yeah. They don't even got Marc-Andre Fleury. They got Stuart Skinner, like a journeyman Stuart Skinner.
Yeah. So it's not Fleury. It's not the guys that would shut us down. It's a guy that's a journeyman that you're just putting a piece in a puzzle and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
And my feeling is these guys aren't going to feel tired, meaning the Flyers.
Oh, yeah.
They get into the playoffs. This energy in this building, in this city, and just in that locker room is going to be palpable.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, dude, it's one of those things that it's I remember when the Flyers took on the Penguins in like 2018. It was the last time I actually got the experience to see Flyers playoff hockey in the arena. And I remember I said to myself is that even that year in 2018, I said to myself is that this team could be really bad for a long time. And obviously it took a few years to finally realize what the ceiling was and also what the ceiling was set. But I think now the Flyers are going to come in here whenever the playoffs start, either a Saturday or Sunday against Pittsburgh, and they're just going to like. I mean, it's not going to be a chance. I mean, I remember the Flyers in 2012 when they took on the Penguins. They were up 3-0 in that series. They could have easily swept them in that series. I mean, because Crosby was like living. I mean, like I said, the Flyers were living rent free. I'm not sorry. Crosby was saying that quote that he said, "I don't like him because he didn't like like the Flyers and the crowd." And we scored 8 goals on them in 2 games, in games 2 and 3. And I remember I said to myself,
wasn't that the series where Scott Hartnell during one of the games was taunting the Pittsburgh Hulk Hogan fan?
Yep. That was the origin of that. Yep. That was around that same time. Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Hulk Hogan fan. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had totally forgotten about that.
Go Flyers.
My wife checking in.
Let's go Flyers. Let's get it, man.
No, what did that like? Here's the thing that it showed me on Saturday with that win against Winnipeg. Hellebuck is considered to be one of the better goalies, and we chased him from the game. We literally lit his ass up. And I gotta say, and we're gonna say this for a while, I have a feeling. Porter Martone, he is the real deal. Holy
yeah, who he is.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I'm hearing his name every other shift. I'm like, this kid, he's just all over the place. And like the fact that you have him and guys like Tyson Forrester and Owen Tippett, like you're starting to see the stars in the making of what this future is really going to become. And boys, we're not done yet. We're not done building. We're not
done yet.
This is still quote unquote a rebuild.
Right.
Can we really, you go to the playoffs. I'm going to say it like my friend used to say when we played Madden. Regardless of how far they go, what they do in the offseason is no longer considered a rebuild. It's considered a reload.
Right.
You're reloading the gun. You're not rebuilding anymore.
What's happening, Chad? How you doing, buddy? So I mean, Austin, I always hear this question here. You think about the Flyers constructed right now, as constructed as this team is going to be like in the next couple of weeks or so when this time calls for it. Just imagine this first playoff. I mean, this is going to be a playoff atmosphere tonight, no question about it. And I think tomorrow will be the same way too. The first playoff game in whatever that is, it's going to be either a Monday or Tuesday or Tuesday of next week or somewhere around that in between. That atmosphere is going to feel like, wow, I'll say this too. In 2008, it was the first year of Danny Briere as a Flyer, and it was Game 3 against Washington. I remember watching that game. I can remember the goals, the lack of the scoring, and just the atmosphere, how it was. The Flyers hockey was coming back, and they went to the conference final that year. 2 years later, they went to the finals, and it was probably one of the and the one thing I would say though too, he's fired up too. My cat is but Austin, I'll ask you this question here: how do you think the atmosphere will be like, especially that we haven't seen playoff hockey in almost, hard to believe, 8+ years now?
I feel like the term electric would be the grossest understatement that I could make on this show. This is a city that has been waiting for this for too long. Right. Especially with the level of not even the level of talent, just the overall caliber of talent that we have on this roster, top to bottom. We saw, the addition of Trevor Zegras. We saw some pieces leave. We saw us add Dan Vladar. We saw a full regime change, not only in the front office, but with the coaching staff. And every single one of those things that happens, you're like, okay, well, they grabbed a couple of okay pieces, but it's a change in the entire chemistry of how this team is going to be run. They're talking about it being a rebuild. This is everything that you would have expected from this team. You have gotten more than that, and you've gotten it in spades. Like, you've gotten so much of what this team is capable of already throughout this year. And to have it either be tonight or tomorrow night as the last 2 games of the season that you set yourself in the door and close it behind you and move forward into playoff hockey is going to not only mean everything to the fans, but to these players. It is proof that their hard work is paying off, that they've done everything that they needed to prove that they are not a down and out franchise anymore. Right. This team is no longer in the bottom of that list of the Philly sports teams. They're starting to show life. And it's exactly what this fan base needed after how bad the last 3 years were. Absolutely. To have this opportunity to be like, look, we've shed the demons. We've gotten rid of everything that was negative about this franchise and have put it into a positive light. And like you said, to have it be Briere being the sort of the ushering in of this new generation of Flyers hockey for a second time, right, is everything. He was a fan favorite here when he was a player. People were super excited when he got announced as being the GM of the franchise. It's an injection again of that hopefulness that Flyers fans saw back when he first laced up and put on the orange and black. I feel like it's the exact same energy that I am feeling. And like Rick Tocchet said, he just wants these guys to get a taste of it. And to have it in the regular season near the end of the season as you're making this push is going to help them going forward. And like your dad's saying there, the addition of Martone and with Tyson Forrester returning accelerated the progress of this program. Porter Martone, it ain't scared of shit, dude. No. He's putting himself in front of the net all day, every day, and he's finding opportunities. That pass from TK to find him in the Winnipeg game was gross. Catch Hellebuck out of position, trying to swing himself back to the other side, and he just buries it.
Absolutely.
I think some of the older guys are looking at Porter Martone going, okay, kid. All right. We're still going to treat you like a rookie, but okay, kid. All right.
And then after that Martone goal, you get that Couturier undressing of Hellebuck. The hard forehand fake over to backhand, put it on the top shelf where mom keeps the cookies, bro.
Someone's waking up.
Dude.
Wow.
That someone is everyone.
Yeah.
That's the best
Absolutely,
part about it. Like you said, Joe, this was the perfect time to come alive. It was right near the end of the season as you're making that push for the playoff spot. Cap it off.
Do it tonight. Not always the best team. It's the hottest team.
Exactly.
Exactly right.
Cap it off tonight so that way tomorrow you can just have fun on the ice.
Yep.
Play against a top flight team in your conference that you will potentially end up having to face further on down the line in your playoff run. Have fun. Let your team study how that team works regardless of who's on the ice and find the points to be able to beat them. Because when you go to face either Carolina or Montreal further on in this playoff run, you already know what you have to do. Carolina, you've already known what you have to do. They're just a good team, so they're getting a little bit of an edge on you, and they're beating you. You've taken them, like you guys said, took them to the brink multiple times this year already. Why can't you beat them?
We talked about Carolina several times through the course of the season.
Yeah,
especially when we took them to the brink because we knew Carolina was one of the top flight teams in the league, and they were going to stay that way. They were going to sustain that success. And we're like, okay, if you're able to take this team, which we wouldn't have expected you to take them to the level you did, with Tyson Forrester out, with no Porter Martone, with a little bit of a lag in the roster, and struggling, still taking them to the brink means that there's a way to step over that line. And here's my thing. I know one thing to be definitely true. Rick Tocchet is going to get these kids ready. Like
Absolutely.
he's going to get these kids ready. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, James. Rob Brendamore and Rick Tocchet, did they play on the same Flyers team?
Yes, they did. They sure
so
did.
Former teammates going head to head. It's going to be a fun playoff. This is going to be a nice little appetizer for a playoff run.
Another thing that I found interesting, I was looking at, excuse me, a little tickle in my throat there. I was looking at the starting lineup for Carolina when I noticed the Delorier thing. Fourth line center for Carolina, last name, Brindamore.
Really? No relation, or is
I
there?
have no idea.
I think it's his son. I think it's one of his sons, or
I believe so. Yeah,
I think it might be.
Interesting.
But how interesting to have another Brindamore step in here to play a professional game of hockey.
Well, I'll say this right now. I'm glad you guys brought up the point here about Carolina and Brendamore and talking on it. This could be a preview of maybe the new rivalry in the Metropolitan. Like, you think about the Flyers and Capitals, that's going to probably start to disintegrate right after the season with Ovechkin, depending on if he comes back next season. And you know Crosby and Malkin are like on the verge of being done. But I say right now, I think the two youngest teams right now in the NHL right now, speaking, is the Flyers and the Hurricanes. I think that's going to be a new rivalry that will take center stage here tonight, and that'll be probably the beginning of that. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I'm glad you brought up here with Brendamore and Rick Tocchet, who played on the same team. And I think right now too, I think that's going to be a real big factor here for like future shows. We'll talk about, like we always talked about, like the Penguins, like our rivalry was like Sidney Crosby, Crystal Tang, Gabby Malkin, yada yada yada. Same thing with Ovechkin. It was Backstrom or Simon or Kuznetsov for a time being. And now you look at the Hurricanes. It's like you never would have thought the Hurricanes will be that team that will be a rivalry team. But right now, I think like the two youngest teams right now in the NHL right now, that could be a beginning of a new rivalry. Could be Hurricanes and the Flyers for sure. And by the way,
since the Jordan Stahl and the Rob Brendamore playing for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, Justin Williams as well.
Yeah. Eric Stahl too. Yeah. And by the way, it's Skyward Brendamore. That's Rod's son, signed a free agency in 24.
Wow.
So
another
just like JJ said, I'm gonna stop like worrying about how old I am until I hear a grandson.
Yeah,
that's when I'll start to worry.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
exactly.
Another young talented team that I had mentioned, Montreal. I mean, Cole Caulfield, 50 goals. Like, kid's incredibly talented. You know, there's a lot of really the Eastern Conference is full of incredibly youthful talent.
Yeah.
And I
gotta ask you though, Austin, with the Caulfield, we talk about Martone. So Martone's been up for what? 7 games, 6-7 games?
Something like that, yeah.
He's got 3 goals. If this kid had a whole season,
He'd at least have 40.
But that's just disgusting.
And especially with you can tell the kid has good hockey IQ because he just keeps putting himself in front of the net and just finding something.
Right.
So with what he's found so far in 6 or 7 games, definitely could have had at least 40 this year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's just the promise for next year for him now.
Now, is he going to be a rookie next year, or is it not going to be his rookie year? Like,
I believe he would be considered a rookie next year because it's a certain amount of games played that would mitigate that. So by the time this regular season wraps up, I think he'll have played at the most 10, and I think that doesn't qualify him as being a rookie.
Okay. I think he could win Rookie of the Year next year. I'm putting that out there.
I think the other thing too that surprises me with Martone as of lately is that it's just like he's like that young and he's that effective. It's kind of like, I hate to say it, I don't want to bring up ex-Blackhawks here, but it kind of reminds me when Jonathan Toews came up. You know, same.
Or honestly, even after him, like the initial rise of Alex DeBrincat with Chicago.
Sure, yeah.
It gives that kind of vibe of like this kid that's not afraid to play in the tough positions and also still use his raw athleticism to outspeed you and still be able to make good work. It's just one of those things that honestly, I'm looking forward to it because this team, like we've said, they have very young, malleable talent that's already buying into the system.
Absolutely.
You look at how Zegras and Michkov has come alive in the second half of the season. You got the incredible contribution across the entire roster when Tyson Forrester went down. To have him come back and be able to give this team another threat. Not only Zegras, Tippett, Michkov, Grabankin, Dvorak, Konechny, and Couturier, and then the guys up top in Ristolainen, Sanheim, Drysdale, Emil Andre. Like, you have so many incredibly talented players on this roster. A lot of them are young and impressionable and able to be molded into the player that you want to see. And they're all buying into what Tocchet's pitching. And that's just making this whole thing even better. Is they're not winning out of spite. They're winning because the guy that is behind the bench has sold them on the fact that you can win. You just have to give it every single night. And that's exactly what they've done this entire year. Sure, you had the skid after the international break for the Olympics, but you recovered so beautifully, so well, so organized. You took a team that you had trouble with early in the year in Winnipeg, belt to ass to put you in the position tonight, winning in. Could not have been written as a better script.
It's the truth. It's really the truth, then, man. I know the one thing that I always say a lot of things about new coaches that are trying to find what their identity is. And it's kind of like the same scenario here that we have with Rick Tocchet. I mean, early on in this season, I was still trying to figure out how to nurse that John Tortorella issue and then try to turn his playbook into something. And I think that I think the one thing that I would say that was the real positive for this Flyers team is that, like, after that Olympic break and after that recharge, and it was like, okay, we have to go back to where we were as a team. And I think that's where we have to go and we have to be as a hockey team in general. But most importantly, I think the other thing that's been the real positive here too is that they bought into him. They bought into the team. And even more so, I have to say right now, I was completely wrong about Rick Tocchet, how he turns this team into something. I mean, sure. I mean, you would think of Rick Tocchet, and then he's a Flyer. They're going, oh boy, here comes another former Flyer, like another ex-Flyer, X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, no, I'm just so freaking excited about this game tonight, guys. I mean, this has been the funnest time I've seen Flyers hockey in quite a while, going back to those Laviolette years of 2010 through 2014, when, like, every game it was on the edge of your seat, and there was games that you looked at and said, like, oh, I mean, there's a lot of great games that they had this year, and Tocchet was a real big part of that. And I think the other thing that really surprises me the most out of everything, like you said, Austin, they're a young group team that they're only going to get better from here. I mean, they brought up, Martone. Imagine Martone and Forster next year around this time, like when the actual new season begins, and like you see them develop, they develop into really good players. I mean, that's the one thing I'm looking forward to, and I'm looking forward to what they bring to the table come this playoff here. Is because.
Even better than that, imagine what your top 12 forwards are going to look like next year with the way this talent pool is set up for Philadelphia. Your first line is more than likely still going to be Couturier, Konechny, and then whoever they put up there with him. They might even mix it up and maybe even have Couturier play a wing and run Dvorak or Zegras as your center there. But they like the way that Zegras, Forster, Tippett have played together. So that's your number 2 line. So you can put Dvorak at center. You can interswap all 3 of them because all 3 of the guys on that top line, if you do Dvorak, Couturier, Konechny, all 3 of them play center. All 3 of them play wing.
Right.
You've eliminated your center issue by taking some of your surplus wingers and converting them into solid, playable centers,
Exactly.
which is incredible. Zegras has bought in on being a center. Dvorak has bought in on being a center. Noah Cates has been, in my opinion, the best grind him out guy that this roster has seen for a few years.
Yeah.
And then
Kind of has that Billy Leno in him.
Yeah, and then you add in the incredible wing talent, the physical capabilities of guys like Glendening, like how Porter Martone is stepping up and taking hard forechecks at the opposing blue line to create chaos. Like, you have everything that you need going forward for this team to be a real problem in the Eastern Conference for the next few years. And on top of that, Dan Vladar, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure you guys agree with this, the greatest signing the Flyers could have possibly made in the past 5 years.
Oh, for sure.
Without a doubt. And you have him for one more year before you have to extend. Honestly, this season ends regardless of when it ends. Lock him in for 6+. Do it now, because if you decide to try and do it after he has another good year and potentially, I'm not calling it right now, but he has the potential to be a Vezina candidate.
Interesting.
Like, he's an incredible goaltender. He's incredibly athletic. The numbers show that he's only getting better.
Yeah,
he could very possibly be up there when the time comes for the finalists next year. He'll end up wanting more, and you feel like it's not what you're willing to give to him, and you could see him walk. So lock him in after this year, and just keep him here because he's your guy.
I'm going to touch on a couple things. Number one, when we talked to JJ, both prior to the season and during the season, during the Olympic break, the problems was still the same. But it felt like the Flyers organization, they knew what the problem was. Like, we didn't need a neon billboard sign to tell you.
Right.
They had a deficiency at center position. So, okay, just like JJ said, you can't go out and get those star centermen because other teams are signing them long term. Okay. Sure. So that's not a solution. That's not a viable solution. So the Flyers and Keith Jones and Rick Tocchet and Danny Briere, they all go, well, what do we do? Do we just keep ramming our heads into the wall and just say, what do we do? No, Rick Tockett's like, you know what? I'm going to play mad scientist. I'm going to see what guys that are wingers want to play center. You got a lot of young talent. They still don't know what they are. They don't still know what they can become. Okay, so why don't we take some of this young talent, because we got wingers for days. Why don't we just take these young talent and see which wingers we could put in that center position? We got a whole season. Put them in that center position. If they fail, they're out. If they succeed, we'll keep going. We'll keep trying that experiment. And that experiment succeeded, just like Austin had mentioned so many times, that now someone like Rick Tocchet and Danny Briere and whatnot, instead of making a desperation move just to bring in a certifiable center, they created and molded centers from their wingers. So they took their surplus and said, we'll keep the surplus and just engineer the solution.
Right.
Which is better because you're not giving up anything. You're not giving up anything to put these people in the right positions. The second thing I would say, and this may come to some people as a bit of a reach, but I feel confident in saying this. Dan Villard is as much of a good signing for the Philadelphia Flyers like Zach Wheeler was for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
That's a good point, man.
Villard turned the momentum on its head.
Yeah.
Now, we could sit here and say Bryce Harper brought the star talent with the Phillies, but Zach Wheeler hunkered down that rotation.
Yeah.
That pitching rotation. So he hunkered down one whole side of a baseball game. Dan Villard hunkered down one whole side of a hockey game by being a sturdy, viable, consistent goaltender.
Wow.
That changes everything.
Yeah, there are actually a lot of parallels between the Phillies and Flyers, more than you would think.
Yeah.
The Phillies went out, found a guy that was a questionable signing in Zach Wheeler for a position of need. No one really knew what Wheeler was truly capable of because he was either having bad years with the Mets or he was hurt. Vladar's thing was he wasn't given the time. So we brought him in, and he is proving to be the ace of the staff, just like with Zach Wheeler. We brought in the star power in Trevor Zegras. He was a household name, not only in Anaheim, but in the NHL. People knew who Trevor Zegras was. Bringing Zegras in, already having a guy that had worked with him previously in Drysdale. You know, Kyle Schwarber played in Washington with Bryce Harper. So you had that connection there. You were able to get Schwarber to come in. You're starting to build a core through these guys that already have worked together plenty.
Right.
And then on top of that, you find other decent talent. You know, Rasmus Ristolainen's been here for a long time. You have Sean Couturier, Travis Konecny, guys that already have worked together a lot to help establish a beginning of a core. You bring in these other players like Jamie Drysdale, Trevor Zegras, Matvei Michkov to help sort of establish the core between both the veterans and the youth.
Yep.
And then from there, you just have to show up, show out to prove to the rest of the league that this is a place that you want to play.
Right.
And that more than anything, I feel, is what the Flyers are doing right now, is they are showing other players in the league that could be going into free agency this year, hey, man, you want to come play somewhere where it's exciting to play the game of hockey and it's fun to play the game of hockey, and these people have fun watching you do it because they live, breathe, and die by it every single day. Philadelphia is the spot. That was pretty much what Harper had said too. He was like, these guys show so much passion for their team that there's nowhere else I would rather play.
Absolutely.
Show the hockey world now that just because we were down and out not too long ago, I shared it yesterday. I want you to let everybody know that we back up. We're back, dude. And it's not a quick flash in the pan back. We are back. And god damn, does it feel good.
Yeah, it does. It really does, man. You know, it's one of those things I can say from positivity here. The thing I was really excited to see here, I mean, sure. I mean, you think about the times when the Flyers were irrelevant and you had to see like the Eagles I mean, obviously Eagles are number one priority in Philadelphia. It's Eagles and maybe Sixers and Phillies, depending on the circumstance. But when the Eagles got to the Super Bowl back in 2017, it was like, this is where we are going to bring back to where, like, the relevancy of Eagles football coming back. And it only took 2 years. The Phillies, on the other hand, they had that 22 run, and unfortunately, they ran it back ever since. And you look at the Sixers, second round exit after second round exit after second round exit. The Flyers, to me, are a reason why I always look forward to like October through April, because April to me is like the beginning of two things. Obviously, it's opening day for baseball and hockey playoffs right around the corner. But when the Flyers are in it every year, like they were as much as I've been around, not seeing that, it was one of those things that I said to myself is that there's got to be a way that we had to break this curse. Like, there's got to be a way we got to just break the camel's back and just finally say we want Flyers hockey to be relevant. And I remember watching like old school highlights of the Flyers in April, like going back to like wearing like the sea of orange in like April through June or April through May. And Joe, you'll love this, is that even though I'm a Grace Ferry guy, seeing Flyers hockey in the hood, like that's what they used to say, was actually something that I never thought about before. I remember there was this one guy I never forgot I was talking about, and he was a nice guy too, and it was the 2010 Flyers team, and he saw my Claude Giroux Flyers shirt, which I was a big closet Claude Giroux fan before, obviously X, Y, and Z, and he was like, "Yo, dude, how about those Flyers, man?" And I was like, Yeah, how about them, man? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, they look like them. And they talking to somebody that, sure, I mean, he's not a big Flyers fan, but he represents sees like how much I'm passionate about it. And I was like, you know what? That's what I want to see back there. I mean, it's a shame now I'm not living down there anymore and try to get everybody they become pro Fly. Because I remember, I think I probably made the whole. I would hope the whole neighborhood was pro Flyers in 2010. I played Joe Satriani if I could fly for years, probably going back after that, and just. But the thing that I was really ecstatic about that 2010 year, everybody was involved. You know, it's kind of like Pat Croce in 2001 at the Walt Whitman Bridge saying beat LA, you know, or the Eagles in the Super Bowl years, and like with the underdog mask, and the Phillies, sure, they had that 2022 World Series run, but it's like Flyers hockey to me from April to June in the playoffs is where I want them to be all along. And the thing I love about it the most, it's back to where it was as that staple was back in the 2010 year. And more so than anything, it's that if they get into the playoffs tonight, if they win tonight, they are definitely, most importantly, out of everything else, they will be the talk of the town that the Flyers are, like you said, Austin, are officially back as of tonight.
Well, that being said, I'm gonna queue up James. You talked about doing a hype up speech.
Sure.
In this show prep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start it off. Okay.
Let's get
but
it.
Instead of me talking, I'm done talking.
Oh wow.
I am doing it a different way. Cue up the song.
You got it.
Listen up. Nobody remembers almost. Nobody remembers close. You remember this? The smell of tape and sweat. The sting in your lungs. The brothers at your side. You've bled for this crest. You've carried this city on your back. Win today. And we walk together. On our shoulders, Broad Street in our veins, skates cut deep in cold glass, shopping for the pain. Missed call finds a quiet spot, one look, then the roar, red light shaking like thunder, he's kicking down the door. Tip it on the outside edge, line to the hash. Wind in his jersey, wheels turning. All you see is a blur and a flash. Flyers, flyers, we rise again. Bang on the glass, feel it in the stands. From the old ghosts watching in the rafters to the kids with paint on their heads. Flyers, flyers, we fly together. Name on the back, but the front is forever. Win today, and we walk together forever. Forced it with that quiet stare, stick loaded like a spring. One step, one shift of the weight, far corner, where's the sting? TK in the dirty space, laughs right in the fire, takes cross checks, digs for the puck, feeds the city's desire. Let's go! Bench door rattling, helmets tap, one. You ain't just playing a game tonight, you're finishing what they begun. Flyers, flyers, we rise again. Bang on the glass, feel it in the stands. From the old ghosts watching in the rafters to the kids with paint on their hands. Flyers, flyers, we fly together. Name on the back, but the front is forever. Win today, and we walk together forever. Who are we? Flyers. Who are we? Flyers. For every cut, for every scar, for every night you carried this far. When the puck drops, no fear, no never. You win this shift. We walk together. Flyers, flyers, we rise again. Bang on the glass, feel it in the stands. From the old ghosts watching in the rafters to the kids with paint on their hands. Flyers, flyers, we fly together. Name on the back, but the front is forever. Win today, and we walk together forever. Win today, and we walk together forever.
How about that? Wow. How about it?
Need I say anymore?
You know, it's funny. I closed my eyes for a sec just to visual like the jumbotron and seeing like Tippett and Michkov and all that too. Man, that's pretty sick, buddy. That's pretty sick, brother. Well,
And who said those words, James?
the great Fred Shiro, my friend.
Yes, sir.
The great late Fred Shiro. Well, Austin, I'll let you take the floor and give it your best shot, my friend.
Just keep it plain and simple.
Hmm.
Playoff comes, anyone can win.
Hmm.
Why not us?
Right.
Like Joe said throughout this season, it's not about how well you play the most of the season, it's how you finish the season.
Mhm.
And you are finishing the season as one of the best teams in the league.
Mm.
You've already proven the reason that you should be in the playoffs. You've proven why you deserve a spot. Prove to the rest of the league why you deserve to be considered the best. You've already shown that you can play against the top teams in the league and take them to task. You've done it multiple times this year. Carolina, Montreal, Colorado, Edmonton. Pick them. We've played them. We've probably beat them. Why can't you take this run and run it as far as you can? Why not? Every single game is 60 minutes for the rest of your life. Play like it. Win like it. Cement your legacy now. These guys are young. You do this shit now? Imagine the future. We're already saying the sky's the limit for this team. How much further can you go than having the sky being the limit? Having the entire universe in your hand. And this team has everything possible to be able to do it. All that's left is to prove all the naysayers wrong, and you've done it all year long. Shut their mouths another time. Go out there, get it. Play every single shift like it's your last. Because once you're in, all you needed is to get in. From there, it's anyone, and why can't it be you? Carolina's weak right now. They're sitting people for the playoffs. You still have to fight. Prove to them that it doesn't matter if they would have had those guys starting tonight. They would have came in here and you would have kicked their fucking ass. Send them packing. Tell Montreal you're next. Send them packing. Walk up to Pittsburgh. Punch him in the mouth. Send Crosby, Malkin, and Letang to the fucking retirement home. From there, you've taken, like I said, you've taken every other team that you would have to play to task at that point. Do it again. Every single shift, every single second has mattered for longer than you think it has. And it's only going to matter even more. Take the opportunity that you've been given. Take that house money that you've been winning every single hand with throughout these 80 games. Carry it into 81. Carry it into 82. And then carry it to 83 and beyond. Win tonight, you're in. Pretty fucking simple. Make it even simpler. Kick the shit out of Carolina tonight. Shit. Take the night off against Montreal. You're already in. From there, your mindset is, what can we do to win it all? And to be honest, that's been my mindset all year long. This team had a chance to be a disruptor. They've done more than be a disruptor. They're not disrupting shit now. They're cementing. They're locking the door behind them. New York, Washington, Columbus, hard-fought year, guys. See you fucking later. It's our time. It's our time. We've been deprived of this for too long. Time to get it the fuck back and bring it all the way back. And it starts tonight.
Nice. All right. I haven't done this in a while, so I gotta try to get into my mode here. Eight years was the last time the Flyers had a playoff game here in this building. 16 years ago, this week, Flyers got into the playoffs. And after that, took you to the Cup final. The one thing I'll say out of everything here tonight, guys, the ball is in your court. The team that you're facing is resting their guys. There's one thing I would say, to quote the great Peter Laviolette. All you need is one goal. All you need is one win. And all you need is one team to get to the playoffs. And this is it. I'm sick and tired of hearing that nobody's given us a chance, and players like Montreal and Carolina, and hearing that they're going to be a threat to the Flyers. You know what happened in 2017 here in this great city? There was a team called the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody was giving us a chance. But you took that and wore it like a badge of honor. Underdogs are blood, are sweat, are tears, are the reason why that we rep this jersey tonight for many others in the past, present, and future. Tonight, it's one of those nights. Tonight is one of the nights that you can say that this is a playoff team. That the Flyers, the Philadelphia Flyers, are relevant again. Tonight, this is where you win today and you walk together forever. This is where you rep that jersey and you wear it like a badge of honor. And you wear it with all the love you have for this team and for that crowd right beside you. It's been a long time coming since I said this. But if you win today, you definitely earn tomorrow. And that's what the one thing you got to do here tonight, guys. It's respect, and you earn it. And that's the thing. It's not respect because you want to earn respect. It's earn respect. We're going to win tonight. We're going to take it in. We're going to Pittsburgh. And nice knowing you, Crosby. Nice knowing you, Malkin. Nice knowing you, Letang. Hit the bricks. There's a new Pennsylvania team in town. And it's called the Philadelphia Flyers. Now go out there and take it. Let's get it. Absolutely. Hungry Dogs also skate harder. And that's the other thing too, is that's the best thing about it too, is that the changing of the guard of the NF and the East too. There's no Florida Panthers, there's no Islanders, there's no Capitals after tonight. That's the one thing about here too. Joe, you got anything to add before we move on? Before we close out here, buddy?
All I gotta say is the journey of what your guys are about to do, what all of you young gentlemen are about to do, starts tonight. And the fans down there, if you're within earshot of my voice, let the kids feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Let them feel it in their hearts. Let them feel it in their bones. Because when this city turns orange, like it will tonight, there's nothing like it.
Gotta love it. You know, I think the one thing I'll say here too before we wrap up here, for everybody that's at the game tonight, rep your favorite Flyer jersey. Mine's is Chemo. Yours is Austin's Eric Lindros. Joey, I'm not sure who your favorite player is, but I hope
Mark
you rep
Recchi.
There you go. The Wrecking Ball, man. There you go, my friend. Legion of Doom. There you go. Yep. Just I think the one thing we can do here before we wrap up here, obviously I've been pointing this goal horn until I'm blue in the face, but it's the sign of better things to come. So that's going to wrap it up here for this edition of This Week in Flyers Hockey. I want to thank Austin, Hammel, and Joey Marks and everybody else here for doing such a great job all season long. It's not over till it's over. Let's go out there and take it, boys. So thanks for everybody for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you to Jim Jackson. Thank you to Brian Prop for taking the time to join us all season long, because the next time we'll probably see you, hopefully we'll see you here next week, and we'll hear this horn one more time. Well, that's going to do us for us here today. So thank you for everybody for tuning in. So now for everyone behind the scenes and for everyone that made it work here, for Austin Hammel, for Joey Marks, and everybody else here, let's go get it, guys. Until then, we'll see you next week, hopefully, with Flyers hockey, playoff hockey on the verge here. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Let's get it. Let's go.